I didn't know before I came here to the Pueblo Zoo that every penguin had such a unique personality. They're not just penguins that you can group into, this is how penguins are. Some penguins are sweet, some are aggressive. Everyone is different, just like people are different.
So we have 12 penguins here. So we have 7 males and 5 females. We have penguins of all different ages from 32 down to 3. We have penguins who want to sit in your lap during feedings, all the way to penguins who would prefer that you just kind of let them do their own thing. We feed them twice a day, every day of the year. We clean their nest boxes 3 times a week, and we will clean their pool twice a week and do a lot of maintenance on the filters that need to be maintained to make sure their pool is nice and healthy for them.
So when we collect blood from our penguins, we put that into our medical record system, which goes into a cloud and is shared by many zoos where they can look at those parameters and see what is normal and what's not. So the more that we contribute to those values, the more that we learn about what is a normal parameter for a penguin and what we should expect.
Making sure that we were taking accurate weights and height measurements so they could compare healthy penguins to penguins in the wild, and also being able to have like incubation times more standardized so we could apply that to any rehabilitation or work in the wild. And also in addition to that, just understanding like common ailments in penguins, what we can do in human care to help and treat penguins with some issues that their wild counterparts might face as well has been super important.
We can see arthritis, if the penguin has arthritis. We can look at organs and see if they're enlarged. We can look at the lung field, just to make sure that they don't have pneumonia and everything looks clear in there, hopefully. Another major thing that we would look for would be cancer.
SAFE is one of the projects that the Pueblo Zoo is really passionate about, and we try to contribute to that as much as we can. So AZA SAFE is an organization that does a lot of artificial nest boxes, like the one over there is kind of modeled after their artificial nest boxes. They put hundreds of those into wild areas for penguins.
AZA SAFE, and specifically African Penguin SAFE, are designed to provide more focus and collaboration between AZA institutions and the various conservation organizations working in the home countries with the species. This can be governmental agencies, NGO agencies, nonprofit conservation organizations, land partners, academia, etc. Zoological facilities have been heavily involved in African penguin conservation for several decades and have invested significant time and resources into attempts to protect the species. Using studies of penguin nesting behavior and temperature tracking going back to 1976, discussions with colony managers and researchers, and consultations with material and engineering specialists, we were able to build a needs list for the size and shape requirements of the nest and the interior environmental needs. Combining this with the significant amount of data from zoological facilities detailing out egg incubation parameters and chick rearing parameters, this combination told us what the nest interior should look like and what temperatures and humidity should be maintained. These artificial nests are unfortunately both the short-term and the long-term solution for providing a reproductive option for penguins that is safe from both the climate and predators.
In addition to that, we also are a big supporter of sand cob, as you'll see on some of our literature over there. And sand cob is like a seabird rescue that does a lot of rehabilitation and oil spill cleanup for African penguins and other seabirds. So there's just like a ton of great conservation work going on with these guys, and which is great because they need all the help they can get from us.
Climate change affecting all parts of the globe have also had a major impact on the South African ecosystem that houses African penguins. There has been a global temperature increase affecting both the air temperatures and the ocean temperatures. The increase in air temperatures has made the already difficult challenge that penguins faced with the loss of the guano nesting area even more of a difficulty. The penguins, being forced to nest on the surface, are facing an ever-increasing amount of heat, and this can be fatal for both the adults and the eggs and chicks. The adults are being forced to choose between heat stress on the nest and the risk to their lives that this has, or leaving the nest to go to the ocean and decrease their body temperature. Leaving the nest means that their eggs or chicks will not survive the temperatures or predation risk. The change in ocean temperatures are increasing the already existing food supply issues as the pelagic fish species that make up a penguin's diet are moving further away in search of cooler waters. This forces penguins to travel further to find the dwindling food supplies, sometimes having to swim 40 to 60 kilometers away from the colony to find food instead of 5 to 10 kilometers, as was the historic norm. The combination of guano harvesting, climate change, dwindling food availability, increased human presence, habitat contamination through repeated oil spills, invasive introduced predator species, historical egg poaching, etc., have all worked together to destroy 99% of the previous population counts, dropping the population to a dangerously low level and risking extinction from the wild if nothing changes.
I think that these African penguins have a very important conservation message. They have problems in the wild right now. There are oil spills, there's encroachment on their land, there's problems with global warming. I think that it's important for people to be aware that the penguins are in trouble. And I think if you see them and you learn to love them, you'll want to protect them in the wild as well.